Welcome to Brothers in Biz. How you doing, Doug?
Holy shit.
They're fine. Everyone, they're fine. They there's like a little cliff there, and it was only bruises, cuts and bruises. But yeah,
a little cliff. Just a little cliff.
Just a little flip.
This dude's I'm gonna shove them so far out.
Right, but you see how he made it go swing.
Yep.
I don't know, man. So I found
you
know where I found it, and so I scrolled, and I was like, right, oh no,
oh no, oh no,
right. And I looked, and there's this big write-up that the ladies fell off, but there's they caught onto a little bit of a cliff and only had scrapes and bruises. So yeah, crazy, right? Oh yeah. He is not only is he fired, but the article said that the police that was in Russia, by the way, and the police are investigating and all that. But I don't know how police investigate in Russia. I don't know how that works. But I made a big mistake during all of this, Doug. And people might have saw my face oh, it was a huge mistake. I pulled New Glarus because I was going to do New Glarus. I was going to do the Kid Kolsch again because I didn't really talk about it last week, and it's fantastic. It's a great place to start. But instead, I pulled the 555 out, New Glarus, which is their Belgian triple. So apparently, I'm starting there.
Boom, boom, boom. You're going big, boy.
Right. And then we'll try to reverse this or something. I don't know. Anyway.
So you're taking the Doug method and starting big and just,
Right. And the dirty glass, too. So that's definitely the Doug method, right?
That is definitely the Doug method. So it's a Belgian triple.
It's a beautiful Belgian triple. It's everything you want out of a Belgian triple. You get the banana, that wonderful, the wonderful esters from Belgian yeast. It's just fantastic. Light, drinkable. We want our Belgian triples strong, but we want them drinkable, right, Doug?
Very much so. And it depends. It's so funny how the doubles and the triples and the quads are just so incredibly different in flavor profile.
Right.
And you figure they're not the same recipe, but you figure they're fairly similar, and they're just so completely different in how they taste.
And I don't know, man. I personally think that the doubles drink heavier. They drink bigger ass beers. And then these triples and these quads drink sometimes lawnmower, and it's just out of control.
Yeah, I think the quads are a little heavier, but
they're definitely heavier. They just don't drink. I don't think they drink heavier is what I'm saying. That makes sense. Probably doesn't.
Yeah. But I think the triples do probably drink easier than say the doubles or the quads
for me.
And that's a bit dangerous with because their ABV can be pretty high. So
absolutely. Yeah. Hooray, it's your podcast partner and my friend Jay.
Hooray, it's Jay, baby, over on Twitch.
Yes, catching us on Twitch. We are on Twitch, if y'all don't know that. I should have a banner here for something like that, but I don't. So, we're on Twitch. Catch us on Twitch. Daddy for Porters. That's what it is.
Daddy for Porters.
Daddy for Porters. Yay!
Awesome.
So, yeah. Love the new background. Thanks, JHG. We've had it for a while. We'll just use that other one, but what's going on, Doug?
Yeah, mine's the same. So, but my background's always the same.
Oh, yeah. With the halo.
Yeah. All right, so I'm starting big thanks to our good friend Lauren Yee. Sent me something that I've never had.
Oh.
Pliny the Elder.
I didn't know you never had that. Okay.
No, I haven't. East Coast, we don't get it. I mean, we just don't. So she was nice enough to send me some. So I'm going to start off with that. So I'm also starting fairly large.
Sours for the win. Yes, Tim. Love sours. Right. What's up, Manny?
What's up, Manny? There we go. Pouring nice. Dirty glass.
My man Art. All right. Yes. Is that a glass or is that a cup?
No, it's a glass.
Okay.
All right, so this is a double IPA, which I am generally not a fan of.
No, you're not.
No.
No.
This is easily the smoothest double IPA I've had. This is really drinkable. I got it, and when I saw it, like I got it just because I asked her, "Can you get me some?" Because I just don't have it, and it's hard to get. So she did, and I was like, when I thought it was a double IPA, I didn't realize it was. I figured it was just an IPA, but I was like, man, I don't know. But this, yeah, it's hop. It got a real hoppy end to it, but really smooth, really, really smooth. Like with most double IPAs, they're just too bitter for me most of the times, and this is not. You get a little bitter end, which is kind of what you want of a double IPA, but quite good. Thank you, Lauren. Cheers.
Cheers. And that is one of those beers that no matter where or who I see drinking, I get a little jelly. You know what I mean? Even though I've had it not a gazillion, I've had it a bunch. I could put myself almost there having it with you, but I'm still like, man, that's plenty.
Yeah, and she sent me 2 of them. I was like, wow.
We got good beer friends, man.
Man, she hooked me up, and I just was like, so, because I had mentioned about, because I kind of said, hey, we should exchange beers. You're West Coast. I can send you some East Coast stuff. And she's like, yeah, sure. So we exchanged addresses, and we didn't say anything. And all of a sudden, this package arrives at my house, and I'm like, oh, shit, I got to get some stuff together. Because I was just being, I was procrastinating as I usually do. And so, I just sent her some stuff back this week.
Yep, Doug drinking a Dipper right up his alley. Kyle, he's awesome.
Let us know what Deepa you're drinking.
Yeah, Kyle started as a lager guy. We were just talking about it today, and now he's big IPA, big juicy, big hazy, big all that. I don't know, Kyle. Do you like the milkshakes? Have you had exposure to the milkshakes? Are you into the lactose part of the whole craziness of IPAs? We had that wonderful IPA chat in the group. I don't know if you guys are in a group. I asked the question, why are IPAs so popular? And I don't know. It was kind of a good thing. So, man, oh fuck yes, milkshakes.
Milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, baby.
Well, man, you are Kyle. You probably already noticed, but you're near one of the best milkshake IPA places, in my opinion, is Dangerous Man. I won't say they perfected it. I'll just say, to me, I had their milkshake before that shit was cool, and it was amazing. And now it's just too cool, and everybody has them. And kind of, if you're the OG, you kind of fade away a little bit in these instances sometimes. So anyway, speaking of an OG, let's see here. I wanted to wait, but Art said R.I.P. Bismarcky. Luckily, we have let's see, a music. I want to call him an expert, but a connoisseur for sure. No, he's saying no, don't call him an expert. Okay. I'll get Jerry will.
I think connoisseur is a very good term phrase for him for this.
Connoisseur for sure. And I like to call anybody who knows more than me about any subject an expert. It makes me feel better though, because then
it's all about you, man. It's all about
you. Right. It took you 170 shows to figure this out.
Hey man, I knew that a long time ago.
Cool.
I'm such a good friend. I didn't want to bring it up.
Well, with that being said, so I'm not being even more bombastic, we're going to bring our friend Jerry on, and I want Jerry to first comment on what Art said here. Hello, Jerry. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
Good.
We're doing great. First of all, what's in the glass, buddy?
So this is I'm kind of going the Belgian route myself. This is actually a Topel by Westlake Brewing here in Deep Ellum. This is this many, and this is really whoa.
I just love the name. It's this many.
Trust me, I had jokes. She was like, they're really starting big. I'm like, it's always nice to start big, but yeah.
Yes.
Go for polls. Yeah. But this is very good. Very flavorful. Hey, what's going on? This is a solid Topel and one of my favorites that they do. So very happy about that. You said about
Love that you said. I love that you pronounce him Trip L. But we're going to get past that. Maybe we'll come back to it. Any thoughts on Biz Markie, being that you are, part of why we want to talk to you today is that you have a podcast about music and
so we may do a show on his music and the his impact on hip hop and his impact in general. I mean, it's interesting because while I, of course, know of his music, my co-host Tony Dunn will probably have a fuller deal. In fact, we may do one of our segments on the show, Modern Brews and Beats, is called a late ass album review. So we may pull out an album and just kind of go through the album as if it were, just listen to it fresh and kind of hear how the songs are. And those are kind of fun because you get a chance to hear how songs last. And it's okay if a song dates a little bit, because it's always just about that time. But we may do something like that. That would be fun. But yeah, definitely rest in peace.
Yes.
Biz Markie and thoughts to his family. Indeed.
Man, just that song rocked the world though that year. That's all I got. We can't sing it, but it really, really rocked the world. And actually, I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of it when it first came out. That makes sense. I thought it was kind of corny. I didn't like it. I'm serious. I'm confessing. It grew on me. And as the years go on, it was great. But when I first heard that song, I was like, nah. I'll admit it. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's how all music is, right? I mean, there's some songs that come out and you're like not the hugest fan at first. And of course, the way radio repeats it and hits it in your ear, sometimes it becomes an ear. You're like going, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's in my head. So yeah.
Right. It's also one of those things where I'm like, everybody else likes this. What the hell's wrong with me? Like
that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel
when
about
I was younger. When peer pressure was able to get in my head, that worked. What'd you say, Doug?
That's what I feel about IPAs. What am I missing?
Right. Doug, you didn't even comment on the IPA thing, did you?
No. Again, I've said it before. Like, I've actually grown to appreciate some IPAs through this show because I never would have picked them up to try them if I wasn't on the show with you trying to actually explore what's going on. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. But there's a lot of it where it's just like there's friends of mine who just drink nothing but IPAs, and I'm just like, don't you get bored? Don't you want to try like other shit? Like,
yes,
I get they're tasty.
Yes.
Like, I mean, the words citrusy and hoppy mean something for them. It's like, okay, citrusy, it's hoppy. It's citrusy, it's hoppy. It's so, and that's only a slight diss, but no, I actually enjoy more IPAs now, mainly because in beer in general, it's interesting. We talk about beer journeys. One of the things that I really did not get down with when I started beer was something that was heavily bitter. Now I'm like, bring it, bring the bitter, bring it on. I'm ready. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir. Really quick, a couple more hits on Biz Markie before we roll to another subject. Of course, Art got to meet him twice.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Art knows everyone, man. That's our boy. Yep. Just a Friend was a major hit, but the other songs were so much better. And I think that's what a lot of people do this, Jerry. I don't know if you do it too. When people pass in music, we go back and do a retro, and I usually go back and do full albums or try to get because again, when we grew up, Jerry, in the old days, the olden days, people didn't have iPods. We had round rings like this. No. We sat on this and we played albums straight through. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes you would play side one and then and then rewind all the way and play side one again.
Of course. No. Man, let me tell you something. Or sometimes you're lucky if you just did the whole side. Sometimes you hit that one song and that's it. I'm wearing that one song out.
Ow.
And it's just, yeah. I mean, if it was vinyl, the grooves. Like, okay, I can tell you like this one song because it's well worn. Or the cassette. Right. Heaven forbid the cassette messes up on that one song. Forget about it.
Right.
And you got the pencil time.
Right.
Bring out the pencil, baby.
Right. Doug, what's going on? You have something? You have a Biz Markie comment?
I wonder, So, like, from a popular perspective, Biz Markie had that one kind of landmark thing, but I think his impact was more, and I could be wrong here, but I think his impact more was like kind of one of more like not a founding father, but like on the early days of it all.
Sure.
And I think him and like another one that struck me was somebody like Chub Rock, who had that one really banger hit, but all the rappers always back in the day were talking just what a great lyricist he was. And like, I think sometimes because where they started, we probably don't have as much of an appreciation of their kind of their whole thing because they came in so early. And it took a lot. Like, I grew up in rural PA. I didn't hear rap until my junior year of high school. And I was like, I graduated in '90. So it's like rap was around way before that. I mean, I heard Rapper's Delight, but that was literally it because I was too busy hearing Bon Jovi nonstop and country music. So like, I was yearning for other stuff and it was hard to find. But anyway, my point was just like, I think that's for me, maybe that's where he kind of left the impact. Maybe I'm wrong there, but what do you guys think?
I mean, I like that. I mean, if anything, you're just by the time you heard a lot of the music, and of course that may have been just like it hit a certain saturation point. So now it's on pop radio or now it's on certain stations. Whereas by the time, for me, they were playing a lot of different cuts, just on the particular radio stations I was listening to. So an opportunity like this, though it's sad, it's an opportunity to kind of go back and go, oh, let me listen to some of the music and hear more of what's going on. I've done that for a lot of artists where if they've passed and I didn't know much of their discography, I'll go through and kind of like, okay, let me listen to more songs and maybe trying to think of the latest one that I did. Honestly, and I didn't do this when he passed, but Prince is an artist that there were certain periods of Prince, like early Prince, late 70s Prince, For You, those particular albums I was really into. And then I stepped away until Parade, when Mountains came, that song Mountains specifically hit me where it really kind of brought me like into, where I was always aware, I was aware with Kiss and Purple Rain and things like that. But it's like I just kind of lost it. But Mountains specifically, I mean, in fact, we did a show recently about the songs of summer. And that song, I think, came out in like May of '86 or something like that. But there was just something about that melody, something about the lyric, something about the jazzy vamp at the end that just continues to speak to me. And it's what brought me back to his thing. So yeah, this is an opportunity to get into the discography of the artist.
One last note I want to make on Biz Markie. Biz Markie made a mark on our young kids, with his Yo Gabba Gabba appearances. And he was, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids know Biz Markie from that. Like, my kids know Shaq. Shaq played basketball? That's what they say to me. What? Like, Shaq is that guy on the commercials. He's the guy on TNT talking about basketball. But when I say to my boys, who is Shaq to you? They're like, the general. Or, you know what I mean? They're just like, Shaq is just awesome. Like, so you don't care if he played basketball? No. Did he play basketball? My kids are 18 and 16, going to be soon. So they're, you know what I mean? It's really, really weird how you can have a different perspective on that. What's up, Jerry?
I love that, though, because it shows the artist's career continues on past this one point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You gotta love when an artist, whether they be musical or they're dramatic artists, they have a life beyond this one particular point. So everyone can kind of have a touch point. You have the music, they have this show.
Yes. Yes. I got the basketball. They got the general, apparently. Anyway.
General.
Thank you, Al.
Yes.
That's some high praise there, brother.
Yes.
Yes. And Al, being a fellow podcaster here, so thank you so much.
Well, while we're here, we might as well just roll up on it. Modern Beats and Brews.
Actually, it is the flip. It's Modern Brews and Beats.
Okay. I was right. Okay, Alan, you threw me off, man.
Come on, Al.
But Alan, no. We talked about this the last time Jerry was on. I was thrown off by Jerry's podcast the first time I listened to it, and I binged it for like an afternoon. And what was the surprise? Oh, I knew going in they're going to be talking about beats and all that. The surprise was that, like, it was really so soothing, Jerry. I mean, the couple ones that I heard, I don't know, how I caught them in a. See, sometimes you binge things and you pick like the different time frame. Mm-hmm. You guys had these like this low, wonderful, like soothing, and then your voice can be bigger, but it also can be very soothing, especially. And I literally fell asleep during your podcast, and that's not a bad thing.
I love when you say that because it's like loving. It's like a loving diss.
Right? No. It was kind of annoying because I was like, yeah, and I don't know, man. I'm getting up there in age, so I'm one of those like that can fall asleep just like out in the back of the. Ooh. Oh, I am that guy.
I can't nap, man.
I've become that guy. Oh, it's not napping. It's like dozing off, like.
Okay,
but seriously though, like it was really the music, and I woke up and I was like 20 minutes later into the podcast, and I'm like, I missed it, so I went back, but like it was just something about the whole your voice, your co-host voice, the music that you guys were playing, how it all like went together. It was just like a symphony for me. It really was nice. I'm not even joking.
Well, thank you. I think one of the shows you actually tuned in on was actually a music mix. So, and there are some times when, again, my co-host Anthony Dunn will put some mixes together, and I put a few things together, and so the blend can go. I know, right?
Right. I explained myself out of that one.
Okay, bro. Really? Right. I'd be slick, huh? I see right now.
Right. Right. Look, falling asleep was right.
Don't worry, Jonathan. I caught it. I caught it.
A loving diss, right?
It is. It's like a slick diss. It's like.
Anyway, Jerry, go back to explaining what you're talking about.
No, there was a music mix going on. So more than likely, I think that was one of the things you heard too. And I think that may have been one of the first shows you heard where it was just a music mix. So it wasn't even really us talking. You may have heard like.
Yeah. I heard like, I went on like a binge for an afternoon. But probably in the middle there is probably when I got hit with that. But but it's good. I mean, you like mixes, you like beats.
Sure.
You like beer. It's where you need to be. Doug, have you ever experienced it?
I have not. And the problem is I have, normally I am like a huge consumer of podcasts, and I've been doing audiobooks. And the thing is I don't drive to work anymore, which is when I consumed almost all my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So since I'm working from home all the time, it's usually like if I'm doing shit around the house and I'm putting in. So I need to catch up. So it's not, I actually have subscribed to it. I just haven't listened to them. So no offense, I'm going to, because the thing is for me, music is a little weird because I'm hearing impaired. So some of the stuff doesn't hit me quite the same as other folks. So like if I'm listening to something, it's a lot of melody and a lot of beat driven stuff for me, is whereas like somebody talk about somebody being a great lyricist, half the time I don't hear the lyrics.
Gotcha.
So like, and it's also why, like, for me, part of the thing that I liked in my youth was dance music, because it's beat driven. It's not a lot of lyrics. So I didn't have to concentrate in trying to listen to it. So like, it's an interesting thing because hearing someone who's able to go, this is really cool. I got all this stuff out of it. And for me, I'm not going to get the same experience.
That's great though. I actually like when people tell me what it's like a beer, right? I mean, I like when you tell me what you get out of it, not what someone tells you were supposed to get out of it, like a marketing thing, but you tell me exactly, just like with the beer, you tell me exactly what you taste. Tell me what you're listening to. And it may be a situation where it's not your jam. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm not really feeling that. Thank you so much, but I'm not really into that. And that's fine. I love to hear when people share their opinion of the music or of a particular thing. So yeah, it's good.
Well, I'm getting up here to a vacation here in a week, so I'll be doing a lot of podcast listening, so I'll be able to catch up. So that'll be good.
So I've got a question for both of you real quick. Do you both enjoy audio podcasts more or video podcasts more, and why?
I don't think I watch any video podcasts, even this one. Oh, I'm on it. Why do I need to watch it, damn it?
I'm here. What I gotta watch?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I will say for me, it's almost all audio. Again, that's because of the hearing impairment stuff. Because when I'm video and audio together, it's like a double concentration point for me. So it's like, for instance, like I can watch stuff that has subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of work for me because I'm trying to also hear to try to associate the words. I'm not trying to make that all about me, but it is just something where it's a different experience. So
very cool. Very cool.
All right. Cool. I got something for y'all.
Flat Earth.
I mean, it's flat.
You're running with flat Earth theory?
Yeah, I'm
my uncle one time, so I'm from Maine, I'm a lobster fisherman, right? So my uncle one time, he got in his boat and he went way fucking past the 3 mile line, all the way out towards Canada. And I swear to fucking God, we never saw that motherfucker again. He went all the way past towards Canada, and I believe personally that he sailed off the edge of the earth.
that's totally why.
Jerry?
I think he needs to take a good drink before.
I love it. Jerry took a drink like Kermit.
He's like, oh.
She's a fisherman and she's
I need to take another step while you play that video. I need to. That's wow.
Greg watches the true life videos of questionable individuals. Right. Jerry is speechless.
I just
right. Jerry must be a great poker player. Yes.
I just want to hear it again because I know you. I love you to play that again because I just want to hear the story.
I mean, it's flat.
You're running with flat Earth theory?
Yeah,
my uncle one time, so I'm from Maine, I'm a lobster fisherman, right? So my uncle one time, he got in his boat.
One time.
And he went way fucking past the 3 mile line.
Hey, fucking
all the way out towards Canada. And I swear to fucking God, we never saw that motherfucker again. He went all the way past towards Canada, and I believe personally that he sailed off the edge of the earth.
So her uncle went one time. And she believes he sailed off the past earth did he go other times and just not go as far or what? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Bless her heart. That's a great way to say it. She's a lobster fisherman. He went
right.
far out there.
One more time. Right. Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So that's wild too, but I have so many. Let's get 2 in here real quick.
Gotcha.
And then Doug, you're gonna go to your second one. I'm on my second one.
Yeah, I know what you're having for your second one, but you have to explain again for the other folks.
This is a real treat.
Good stuff.
What? Train is coming out your ears. It's gonna be near state.
Oh. Play by here? Sorry for that cold.
Yeah.
It's not catching though.
We're recording right now.
Oh, you're recording? Oh, that's too bad. I didn't even realize that was a camera.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I hope you don't have permission to put me on. Just tell him that the weather here comes cold in Chicago. So that's when you come to Chicago, you get a cold. Sorry about that.
Tell me you got that. Okay.
That
All right, here we go. Feel like I need hand sanitizer. A lot of it. Was that the weirdest exchange?
He had to be in like New York City, right? That's what it looked like.
Chicago. Remember, she says
Chicago.
this is what happens when you come to Chicago. You get a cold, and then you have to snot
rockets.
Jerry, you look like you're moved by this.
I'm just trying to find out. I couldn't even really hear, honestly, what she was saying, but I was like, when she was like kept hawking, I was like, going, why? She said, I didn't even know it was a camera. Then she came back in front of the camera again and gave you another.
Right.
Like, lady, what's going on?
Right. I didn't know if I was freaked out by her spinning so much or his reaction, which was, I hope you got that on camera. Like, that was just amazing. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she proceeds to just
keep doing it.
Right. So you're not really sorry.
I have a whole story for you. Is when you come to Chicago, you get a cold. That's what happens.
Right. So that was her excuse. So she blamed it on Chicago, right? Right.
I blame it on their terrible pizza.
You don't even call it pizza though, but we're not even gonna.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't get that shit on the shoes.
Yeah. That guy saying, I feel like I need hand sanitizer. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I need a shower. Right. How do you know not what a camera looks like? I don't know. I kind of thought she was drinking, but I don't know.
But she did have a Red Bull. Could have been a vodka and Red Bull in that can. You don't know. Oh,
she did have a Red Bull. And clearly that wasn't helping the congestion.
No.
So Doug, I got a kid call share from New Glarus. It's become one of my fast favorites. I just had it last week. But it's crispy, nice Kolsch. I don't know. They just added it to their. I guess it's a seasonal, but I'm seeing it more. I'm always down for a good Kolsch, especially this time of year. I'm down for good Kolsch any time of the year. I think you can have this crisp loveliness. Hell, at the Christmas table, I don't even care. What you got, Doug?
I'm going to go with another round in the patriarchy line that they just released.
Oh, sweet.
Root beer Imperial Brown Ale.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're going to see how this is. Their last one, I was so incredibly disappointed with because it was the banana pudding Hefeweizen. And I freaking love banana pudding, and it was just not good. So, Greg's favorite glass.
Is that even? Yeah, sexy as fuck. Jerry, I started saying like a couple years ago, beer glasses can be sexy.
Of course.
Do you agree?
Absolutely.
I was expecting just a little root beer on the nose, but I was expecting it to be much more root beery. You know, like you want that sting that root beer gives you. You know.
Go Vegas, right? Of course.
Mister, I don't like anything.
Yeah, but he's right here though.
What?
What's wrong with banana pudding? Jerry.
Wait. Hold on. Is someone saying they don't like banana pudding?
Yeah, Greg? I'm saying it. Yeah.
Greg and Aaron Gavea, both of them are like banana pudding.
No, okay. So is this banana pudding and then you put the vanilla wafers on it? Or is that where we're at? You have to have the vanilla wafers.
Sure.
Yes,
of course.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
On the top. I mean, how else would you do it?
I don't know.
There's variations on it, but it's always vanilla wafers. It's always vanilla. Okay. And some people make it where they whip the cream into the pudding to make it fluffier. But it's basically the same, and it's delicious. It is my second favorite dessert ever.
I like bananas. I just don't. Can I like bananas, but not like other shit bananas? Does that make sense? No.
So you like bananas, but don't like banana milkshakes or banana.
Right. Or I'm going to get killed in the comments for this. It's fine. Hefeweizens. If they're too banana-y, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah,
but that was one of the first tasting notes you gave on the triple.
I know. And it was nice. It was subtle.
The banana notes. Yeah.
Also, it's a big triple. So like, I'll suffer through the banana because I know it's like.
Oh, you'll suffer.
I'll suffer because I know it's 9%. So,
wow.
Jerry, do you have a second one?
I do. I'm just finishing.
Doug, did we get tasty notes in that? Or I'm sorry, did we talk over that shit?
It weirdly does taste like a root beer float.
Nice.
Oh,
It's interesting because brown ale, I was like, brown ale? And you're going to do, because, for me, from brown ales, are generally you just go to brown ale. You fucking make a brown ale and you don't fuck around with it too much because it's kind of
right.
a style. If you fiddle with it too much, this tastes like a root beer float with a very little brown ale finish. And it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Wait, Greg, what just happened there?
I don't even know.
I'm just like, wait, hey.
Hey, did you guys see that?
And I'm just like, whew, what's that little?
When Doug and I hit big time, we'll be able to rewind.
Yeah.
I just poured I don't know. It doesn't have that much beer in it, but somehow I poured half of it on me. So.
Oh no.
Hey man, that's my job to do the spilling stuff. I do that every time.
This is why I don't start with triples. Okay, I try to start with pilsners, and for some reason I opened up a triple. Alan, I like Alan. I agree with Banana Halves. It's not my deal.
Yeah, that's a great guy.
I agree. JHG, how the fuck else do you eat a banana? Okay, I was just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay,
wait, I got it, Greg. I got it. You're gonna do like it's on Chopped, and you're gonna have a deconstructed banana pudding, and it's just a bowl of pudding, a bowl of vanilla wafers, and a bowl of bananas. All right, what'd you pour there, Jerry?
Okay.
I poured because I had a little something earlier. So Matt Strain will appreciate this. I actually probably poured one of my favorite things from Athletic. This is their cherry stout. If I can get it in the camera right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably one of my favorite beers from them when I want to go NA. And I love the roast. I love the smell of the cherry and the roast on it.
Does it have the body of that stout that you want? That we all want?
It has the body of a porter.
Okay.
Or you know what? It honestly, it has more of the body of probably like a Schwartz beer.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a little light.
Yeah.
A little thin, right?
Which is fine. I mean, because there's sometimes when you're like, I do like viscous stouts, but there are those times when you're like, okay, I can't drink like all this thickness. So there are times I appreciate it being a little light, and the flavor is there. So I like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you say when I want to go NA, what does that mean in Jerry's world?
There are some times when if I've had either some beers earlier, I may like put a NA beer in the middle, or there's some days where I just may want to say I just try an NA beer. Maybe just kind of it's my way of not so much taking a break. It's just more like trying to break it up a little bit. Making sure I just have some different flavor things. So one of the things I appreciate about Athletic and a few other NAs, in fact, McKellar makes some really nice NAs.
McKellar's starting to make NAs? Wow. Okay.
Yes, they make some really good NAs that I've tried. And the ones that I've had from both Athletic and McKellar don't have lactose, which Big Drop is in the name. Big Drop, I think, is out of UK. And I may have that name wrong, but they do have lactose in those. And I'm like going, But these taste good. And there are just some times when I just want to break it up. And that helps me break it up, gives me the flavor, and I like that.
Awesome. Well, Jerry, welcome. You're going to be a part of one of our new segments. Doug, are you ready?
I think so.
Cool. I like that shit. Anyway, what's going on, Doug? What are you watching? What are you watching? Sorry, Doug. Is it
okay? So, a thing that
I'm sorry, Doug. Sorry, Doug. Let me jump on. Sorry, yeah. This is why we should pre-produce and we don't. I want to. So, what are you watching? Is a new segment that Doug and I are going to talk about every week what are we watching? It's going to be specifically a TV show, and it has to be what we're currently watching. I can't come on here and say, y'all should watch The Jeffersons because I watched it 15 years ago. Now, if I was watching The Jeffersons, a couple days ago, that would count. So, Doug, what are you currently watching?
Well, what I am currently watching is I'm watching something called Solos, which is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's a mini series, and basically none of the episodes it's not sequential. You can watch any of them in any order. I have to say that there's one with Helen Mirren. There's one with Morgan Freeman. The best one I saw was one with Constance Wu in it. And basically the show implies there's one main character. Now the screenshot shows two main, but there's one that's like really the focus. Several of the episodes are just one person talking to the camera or talking to an off-screen personality. The Constance Wu episode is one of the best episodes of a show I've seen probably since Black Mirror, which that Black Mirror is that holds a pretty high esteem for me. So I really, really think that show is worth it. It's only 6 or 7 episodes. They're 20 to 30 minutes long. It's not terribly long. If you're a binge watcher, which I am not, you can knock that out pretty quick, but they're super good. The Anne Hathaway episode, which is the first one, a lot of people really like that. I think the Constance Wu one is the best one, but hey, I think that is definitely worth your while to watch.
Cool.
Sweet. Gary, you ready?
I mean, sure. Unfortunately, my show is on hiatus, but we can pull it up there because
yeah, that's the one you told me about, right?
Yeah, because I'm waiting for them to bring the new season in. It's a guilty pleasure on Bounce TV called Saints and Sinners, and I mean, it's been a long time since I've enjoyed a good night soap. And it's all the things. I mean, it basically started out as these individuals that were a part of a church, and there are some political aspirations, and then it kind of went into some different things where individuals were in the community, and they had business dealings, and it's involving everything from the typical infidelity type situations to even what is that? What is it when the body parts? It's when you're getting parts to the hospital or something like that. It's a crazy show, right? But it's so over the top and just so it's great, over the top, campy night soap, right. All the things you love. So
right.
You want to see something fun,
mindless.
It is mindless, and yet you do kind of have that churchy thing that kind of comes back every once in a while, especially people who were wronged in the church, and they kind of come back with it like, oh, they'll flip a Bible verse or something like that. I'm like going, oh wow, you really went there. Okay, so it's kind of funny. So I like it. It's Saints and Sinners on Bounce TV. It's fun.
Organ donors.
Organ donors, yeah.
Body parts.
but let's just say that those people don't give their organs willingly. That's one of the subplots that are in.
Right.
It's
like somebody wakes up in a tub and a tub of ice and they have no kidney kind of thing.
Yeah. If they let's just say they don't wake up and they were just like it's a whole ring of things, and so that it's
okay.
Wild.
All right, so mine is different than both yours, and that's cool. It's a show called The World's Most Amazing Vacation Rentals. It just came out this year, 2021. The thing I like about this is it has that house hunter-ish kind of vibe to it. But what it is 3 people traveling around the world and going to vacation rentals. And what they do is within 1.5 hour show, they show a budget rental, they show a unique rental, and they show a luxury rental. So these was out there on the scene. So I can show you the, for example, boats and floats here. You can see it here, 33 minutes. Mm-hmm. This show had literally in Miami a rental that was, it's a rental to house, but literally it could go on the lake and move, and they had it moving. It was the luxury one, so it was like a boathouse, like a little boathouse, but it was 2 stories, luxury, all kinds of things. So it was fun. It was something that the lady and I binged. It's cool for families. It's cool, kind of like a like an escape. Everybody's doing vacations and stuff, so it's kind of like getting a vacation without actually going on vacation. So I recommend that one, and it's only 30 minutes, so you can just you don't have to. You want to binge an hour and a half, you got 3 hours if you just want to jump in on it. I have attention span issues as Doug. Doug is part of the reason why we have this segment is because of Doug. Actually, it's the main reason, to be honest with you. It's because Doug always has really good like when we go post production, Doug usually always trying to talk, like there's always like a TV show coming out of his mouth, like, man, have you seen this or have you seen this? And Doug's always up on it, and I think that it would be cool if we could just have a conversation about different shows, because shows are just so different than when we grew up. But how about this? This is a good segue. Like we just had 3, 6, and and when Philly it was Channel 3, Channel 6, Channel 10. Remember this, Doug? And like that was it. Now we got Netflix. I mean, Jerry was like, "Man, I got something on Bounce." I'm like, "What the is Bounce?" Like, and no, but I mean it in a good way, Jerry. Like, there's so many streaming outlets that it's hard to like keep a hold of what the hell's going on.
Right, and Bounce actually is on television, but since it's now digital television, like here in Dallas anyway, it's actually on regular.
Right.
So it's Doug's fault.
Yeah, it's not
right. It's definitely Doug's fault, Tony, for sure. But you know what I'm saying, Jerry, about like if it's, there's just all different kinds of ones, and so I don't have Doug likes the HBO Max, and I don't have that. But once I get HBO Max, I'm already going to call Doug up and be like, okay, what was those 6 things you were telling me?
I got you watching that channel.
Can you imagine how wild it is, especially for Bounce as the dryer sheet?
Right, Jerry.
It's funny because when it first came out, it was kind of like I'd say sister channel to like BET, and then now that show Saints and Sinners is now their own original thing, and it's been a very popular show on that network since 2016. So they're like,
okay,
right. There are a lot of channels, a lot of things to watch. I guess it can be a good and a bad thing, because back in, essentially, you mentioned the word, Greg, olden days. Imagine what our TV guides would look like now with all the options we'd have of all the streaming channels. Like going, okay, there is like way too much, and original stuff too. So we're not just talking about the programs that are in syndication. We're talking about original programming on all these networks.
Right. And that's why I say I might get on here one day and say, look, I'm watching the Jeffersons. People be like, what? Yeah, I'm watching the whole thing over, and I'm watching it wherever it is. I don't know where the Jeffersons are. I know they're out there, and I know I want to see that, because every time I show it to my boys, and they're like, oh my God, what the hell is this? And I'm like, it's the Jeffersons. It was great.
You got to show them. You got to show them Sanford and Son and see how they react to that. That show, I could jump in that. That shit slays me any fucking episode I jump into. Yes, you are correct, Aaron. That is an excellent show.
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
Oh, you told me about that one.
Yeah, and it's set outside of Philly. That's why I told you about that. Right.
I mean, I don't have HBO Max, and one of the shows I missed that everyone was talking about, and I'll just have to get it when was Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
I missed that, and so I was like, I need to try to find a way to get back on that, or find a password. And just trying to get back on that somehow.
I think we all.
And there's another one that's on HBO Max that we've talked about, I think, on here before, was Watchmen, which was really, I had not really heard about the Tulsa race riot, like the Tulsa massacre. I didn't hear about that really in any detail. And the first episode of that is them reliving it in the middle of it. And it is just jarring as fuck. It is amazing work.
Yes.
Doug, what is that again?
It's called Watchmen. It's based on a graphic novel. There was a movie made called The Watchmen, which was not great, but the show is phenomenal. Regina King is the lead character, and she is fucking kick ass. She's amazing in that. So
she's a badass, period. But yes. Yeah, Watchmen is excellent, Manny says. Let's see, Watchmen's excellent. Oh, here we go. Aaron says, yeah, it was canceled.
It was.
Wow.
And that was based on a book that I read, and I handed it to my wife and said, you have to read this book. She read it. She's like, that's not like anything I've ever read. It is a mixture of H.P. Lovecraft and Cthulhu stuff and Jim Crow era stuff in America. It seems like that would, and it's just an astoundingly good show and a really good book.
I'm not sure why you should hush.
Why are you hushing me, Manny?
You should. I don't know why you should, but I agree with Manny. Let's see. Wife and I have been a discovery of witches.
Huh.
I like it for historical references. Tony, where are you seeing that at? Because again,
was that Discovery Plus? I'll find that out. I'll find that out. Give me a second.
Yeah, or he'll answer here. Aaron wanted to say that the Delco accent is horrendous.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Amazon Prime. The Delco accent is horrendous in Mayor of Easttown, I believe it said.
Greg, I will defer to you on that to hear it because I thought she pulled it off fairly well. It's not perfect by any stretch. There's a certain lilt, but doing like the water and like she did a lot. She nailed a lot of things. Now, she's a British actress, so she's not going to nail everything like that. So, like,
I do say war. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Yes, he's right. Doug, it's time. Let's toast. I'm toasting to this crazy week being over. Cheers.
Cheers.
No argument there.
Jerry, you have a toast?
Oh, man.
Doug, you have a toast?
I can toast.
Yes, let's go.
I'm going to toast to the Jaguars making the dumbest head coaching hire of the last season. Ever. I said when they hired Urban Meyer, it was the dumbest decision, and then this week he got subpoenaed for hiring a freaking sexual predator. It is like I said when they hired him, what are you doing? So cheers, Jaguars, for keeping up the dumbness for fucking 25 years, you jackasses. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I don't even know how to respond. I know Aaron wants to pile on, but we're not going to.
He can. The Jaguars do dumb shit.
Aaron's comments great. Florida.
He's exactly right.
You know. But of course I can't totally laugh. Texas as well, so.
What was that, Jerry?
I said I can't totally laugh because Texas is going to Texas as well. So yeah,
all right, that's fair.
Right, Texas will Texas. Right. So Jerry, why are you here? I love that. How are you here? Well,
wait, how
Jerry is here?
I clicked the link. No, I'm sorry.
You did though. That's the simple answer for sure. So let's string this back.
Right.
Doug's beer scholar and teacher, Robert Scroggs. Are you guys still in class?
Well.
Yes.
Jerry as well.
I too.
I met Robert through, I believe, Facebook. I think he invited himself or he found the Daddy Porters group. And I don't know if you guys know, if you join the group and no one knows you or adds you, or even if someone adds you, you get put in a queue and then we have to, go through some vetting processes. So the first thing I saw was like, I just see, this is like 5 years ago or 4 or 5 years, 3, 4 or 4 years ago. I just see a guy requesting a group, no friends. And my group is basically added by friends, meaning it's either me and my friends or one of my friends who've added. So I don't try to advertise the group. I don't really want the group to get like crazy where we have to be all crazy. I just kind of want it to be like a little homey place for my friends and their friends and a safe place for people to talk about beer and to ask questions and then not really feel intimidated by asking what's the difference between a double and a triple. I want people to be able to feel safe in there and do that. Long story short, we went through a vetting process, and I just see this guy, a white guy from Texas, and no one knows him. And I'm like, I even asked my moderators, I'm like, does anybody know this guy? No. I'm like, all right, whatever, let's do it. So then I'm pretty sure. And then he, what happened was he got in, and then I started looking at like what he does, and like he's a cicerone. And if you look deeper into Robert Scruggs, you go any further than that, white guy from Texas, you'll find out that Robert Scruggs isn't your typical white guy from Texas. So, and that was the great thing about it. So, long story short, Robert knew Jerry, and Robert's like, man, I can't make the Fresh Fest, but my boy Jerry Richards coming up. You guys should meet up. And I was like, okay, great. And actually, I'm pretty sure he sent me what you look like, or he sent me your profile, or he did something where like he put me on your radar, and then apparently he put me on your radar too, Jerry.
Yes. So I was getting so similar messages like, "Oh, you should meet up with Greg. You should meet up with Greg." And I said, "Okay, I'll meet him here, but at Fresh Fest. This is Fresh Fest 2019." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll take a look around." And then either something, because I don't even know if I had seen your picture first or not, but I was like, okay, I have a feeling. I think. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can make this impact. I see either Greg get out of the elevator or on the elevator, something like that. And I actually call his name and say, hey, Greg. Now, if I could have had a camera, just let you see the look on Greg's face when he was like going, why is this man calling me by name? Like, what did I do? And who is this? And what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we connected there. And so, definitely Robert Scruggs, Mr. Brewing Matters, I thank him for, that's a cheers. And that's a toast to.
That's a toast. Cheers, Robert Scruggs. Yes.
Yes. For connecting us there at Fresh Fest, and the rest is Daddy Porter history.
Yes. And here is the same reaction happens to me when there's been a few times, less than 5, that I've been out in Madison and people's like, Daddy Porter, and I what? Like, hey, I saw your shit in the Madison Beer Group or something, and I'm like, oh, cool. What's going on? Like, but the first initial thing, you know what I mean? Because I'm usually minding my business in public, and when people call my name out, I'm just like, damn, that's pretty crazy. So, cheers. And then the rest was history, man. Like, we pretty much hung out, not the whole time, but we hung out. I mean, we were tight like the rest of the way, and the rest is history. So, Jeff got it right though. Jerry's here because he's awesome. Cheers. Correct. Yes, and Aaron is definitely right. This is in Florida are locked in a perpetual battle of shame and regret.
See, that's it. There other times in Texas where folks don't regret. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they
own it, right?
I mean, come on. We talk about like the whole situation with Juneteenth becoming a national holiday, but in Texas, on the same weekend as Martin Luther King Day, there's still a Confederate Heroes Day, and that's like a partial holiday, but it's Confederate Heroes Day. On
Texas wasn't part of Confederacy.
That's like, Doug, you brought up football. That's like if the Cleveland Browns from like 3 years ago, when they won one game in 2 fucking years, has like, oh, we're going to have a hero section for that year. Like, you're a fucking loser. The Confederacy lost. It was one of the biggest L's.
My cat's going crazy.
Ever. It's one of the biggest L's ever. And we're going to have heroes from that.
I would like to point out something I heard on a podcast one of the few podcasts that I had a chance to listen to, and it was from the guy who wrote How to Be an Anti-Racist, and he commented that the idea that the North and the South lost is false. The Confederacy lost, the United States won.
Right.
But the Confederacy revolted against the country. And I was like, yeah, that's never how it's taught, man. So yeah, sorry, that was just something that it's been sticking in my head for like 2 weeks, and just because when I was young, I got told that it was the North and the South. It wasn't the United States versus Confederacy. It was North versus South. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where else do we give the losers so much time? Where else? You lost. Go. Get the fuck out of here.
We do that a lot in this
Anyway.
country.
Get the lost. Bye.
Although
Jesus
it does make you wonder, though. I mean, because that's where I've looked at certain things. You like when you think about all the monuments, and when you think about things that are in textbooks that were taught, you have to ask yourself, was it a loss or was there a deal made to keep certain things around? Because if it was a complete loss, yeah, if it was a complete loss, it'd be something totally different. But I don't look at it as a complete loss. I'm thinking, okay, there's a deal made just to keep things down. Because I just, again, when I look at statues, when those are plans. These are things that are not just a rogue group doing things. These are plans that are sanctioned, and there's money behind them in different high places. So.
And almost none of those Confederacy statues were put up after the Confederacy. They were put up back in the Jim Crow era. So
Yep.
Just to remind people.
Indeed.
Fun. You're serious here on Brothers and Booze.
Hey, we'll get serious at some point.
We get serious.
I'm gonna get serious.
The show last week was kudos to you for having that discussion. It was a really great discussion that you had, and I really appreciated Harry on this network. I learned a lot with the shows, so I love having the humor, and I also love those points where it's like, oh wow, that's something.
Yeah,
that's a fun part of our show. I think is when we can be serious and we can be freaking completely ridiculous, and we can shift really well between those. And we've had some guests come on and just drop some fucking knowledge and then just be completely silly the next minute. And I just think that's part of the fun of it, I think.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah. Let's not bring the asshole from last week back. It's terrible.
But was he an asshole because he didn't like wings? See, because that was the thing.
Coffee.
I saw a lot. Okay, so coffee, yeah, I was like, okay, I can't join you in the coffee, but the wings, like, that's a lot. I mean, come on, that's just so much work. So much work for so little meat. I mean, like, you're really in there. I'm like, well, it's a wing, man. You ain't gonna get much out of that wing. Get a piece, get another piece, something.
Right. Well, that's why you have 20 of them.
So your complaint is that it's a lot of work for not a lot of meat.
I mean, because you should want more meat, but you should want more.
Okay, that just killed me. Thank you.
See, that's the Blue Bear segment that'll be on like Twitch later. That's for a totally different audience. But yeah, you should want.
That'll be on Brothers and Booze After Hours
on our Patreon, motherfuckers. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
see,
Imperial Stout or Triple or Triple, as Jerry says.
Ooh, that's a hard one. That is really hard, actually, because I love both of them. They're two of my favorite styles. So,
Sorry.
No,
I didn't listen.
My mood.
He didn't listen.
I didn't listen. I asked and then I just did whatever the fuck I wanted. That's American. I'm an American. I can do that, right?
That's par for the course. It's okay.
Right, but I'm gonna blame my Americanism on that. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna ask you and act like I'm polite.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna act like I'm polite and then I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Right. With a smile. That's my third beer, Doug.
Yeah. So it's another triple.
It's that all right, Jerry, we'll see you in a second, brother. It's that same one that I have from the Glarus.
Yeah. That's all right. You said that was excellent, so
yeah, and I don't know. What's going on? So while we wait for Jerry, what's going on this weekend?
I'm going to pour third, and then I'll say what's going on this weekend.
Okay.
Aphrodite Jenkins. So didn't man make one called it's a peanut butter Jenkins, which is like it's an imperial stout with peanut butter. This is their Aphrodite Jenkins, which is a collab with Mortalis Brewing Company.
Oh,
Tim Man is out of upstate New York. I'm not sure where Mortalis is from. This is an imperial stout with banana, walnut, vanilla, cinnamon, and cocoa nibs. That's a lot going on. Of course, their Jenkins stuff is all. Their Jenkins line is all about making fun of Leroy Jenkins. That whole thing. Leroy Jenkins
with pastry stouts.
This is a pastry stout. Normally it's an imperial stout. Yes, Aaron, you are correct.
Since when is being a breast man a bad thing?
No, although I'm more of an ass man, but that's okay.
Jerry spitting truth about his meat. Yep,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I will say that the peanut butter Jenkins is a really great beer. I have not had this before, so this is going to be interesting.
Of course, our man with most of the answers, if not all, comes through again. Daniel Fisher.
Look at that. Goddamn. How do you know every fucking thing, Daniel?
He knows every fucking thing.
He's an encyclopedia of beer knowledge. Like, I envy that brain. My brain is filled with fucking dumb 80s music and irrational facts about NBA basketball that don't matter for shit. I was thrilled. I made a level 42 joke this morning before I finished my first cup of coffee, and that made my entire day. That's how easy I am to please. So,
right. Aaron can confirm that you're an ass, man.
True.
Right. Daniel is the man, right? Little known fact, I tried to get Daniel before I got Doug. Well, that's not true. I just made it up.
No, and you know
I
what?
did try to do something with Daniel.
Well served to get Daniel because he's a fucking genius.
Yes, I've been trying. Daniel and I've collabed on a couple things. I've been trying to get him to do. He's got young kids, and again, Friday's kind of an issue, get people to do things, Friday. But anyway, what's going on here?
Okay. All right, I'm trying to figure out what to say about this because there is a shit ton going on in this beer, and
banana, cocoa nibs. What the fuck? Say it again, Doug.
So, Jerry, here are all these parts to this. All right, this is Aphrodite Jenkins, Imperial Stout, banana, walnut, vanilla, cinnamon, and cocoa nibs.
All right,
that is a lot going on there. So, I am getting a lot of cinnamon, little vanilla, some cocoa nibs, no banana, no walnut.
Wow, banana was the very first thing listed, and you're getting none.
Yeah, but it's problem is banana is it's distinctive, but it's not a powerful taste. I don't think, unless you're getting artificial banana, that shit overpowers stuff. It's real banana flavor. Real banana flavor is not that overpowering, but yeah, it's just like I was telling Greg, there is a peanut butter Jenkins variant of this that their peanut butter imperial stout and is delicious. This is a bit muddled because there's too much shit going on in it for me.
Yeah,
right. And that was my skeptical look. Like,
but I will grab shit with a million fucking things going on it because I want to see how the hell they make it work.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Jerry. No.
I said it's nice when they do make it work. When it does work, you're like, wow, how did you make it work?
Like, how'd you figure that shit out? Yeah. And it's not that it's a bad beer. It's just there's a lot of conflicting shit going on. So it's hard to kind of pinpoint what I like about it other than it's 12.5% ABV. So,
so JHJ, do the total wine suggested PP Jenkins.
Oh, yes.
And it was awesome.
PP Jenkins. And listen, if anybody like Greg, did I ever send you any of that?
I don't think so.
All right. I have some. I'll send you some because it's superb.
Sweet. Well, you got some venture coming your way. But
yeah, baby.
Just so everybody is clear, Manny knows about basketball, cereal, and porn.
All right. So
and trick. Oh, wait, hold on. And trick. What is the Tricks logo? What is it? I can't.
It's the rabbit, silly rabbit.
Right,
Tricks are for kids.
right, silly rabbit. Tricks are for Manny.
Yes,
Right.
man. Hey, Jerry, you didn't get it. Jerry, did you see the episode where we had Manny on?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That shit where he showed up in a fucking smoking robe or whatever the hell that was.
Yes.
Like, he showed up in that, and I was like, "This is going to be a good show."
One of the most epic ones we have. Absolutely. So we'll be hearing about your Lucky Charms.
Mm-hmm.
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 Don't encourage him.
Well, I'll encourage him because
You've already done so.
Jerry, you snuck away and
grab what you grab, man.
So this is actually the name of the brewery I cannot pronounce. This is from Estonia, and it's called Baltic Pride. So it's a porter, and it's actually an old world stock Imperial Baltic Porter featuring a blend of fresh bottom fermented Baltic Porter and barrel aged top fermented Baltic Porter. This is 12.5. So
That's high for a Baltic, isn't it?
that's high for any kind of porter. Porters are supposed to be easy drinkers, and I don't care. You guys are like, we got an Imperial double porter, whatever. It's supposed to be a light drinker. The porter,
it's
even a Baltic, like even a bigger Baltic, should be.
it's smooth. It's
Let's hear
wood,
about it.
it's a smooth flavor. It's kind of woody. You're laughing. I'm like, well, just because I said woody. But yeah, this has got a good flavor. It's really good. I of course, guys are. I mean, hey, if Manny knows balls and porn, I mean, I can know woody Baltic porters. I mean, yeah, this is a really good, solid.
Do either of you know the top fermented versus bottom fermented Baltic porter? Because I mean, it just denotes a different way of that. But like I just get Baltic porters. I have no idea how they're top or bottom fermented. Any idea?
Which is a wonderful thing to learn, right? Because I'm sitting here when I read it and when I saw it at the store, I said, okay, what is that about? And thanks to our class with Robert, I'd gotten more into Baltic porters, and I was like, "Oh man, where have these been all my life?" I need more.
Delicious.
So, light me up in the comments, and I should know this being a Siebel Institute alumni. Baltic porters are lagers, Doug, and other porters are ales. So, the bottom fermenting Baltic porters are normally bottom fermented, meaning they're lagers. So they're big lagers. Robert Scruggs, are you here? Hopefully you know. Now, I think what they're saying is they kind of combine. I don't know how you have a top fermenter and a bottom one. I guess you blend them. So you would probably make a porter that's a top fermented, which is an ale, and then a bottom fermented, which is Baltic porter. Mix them together. That's what I think's going on. That sounds really good, though, and that's the kind of innovation that I'm looking for going forward. Instead of just fucking throwing cocoa nibs and coconut and all that kind of shit in the fucking. I mean, that's great. And get me wrong, Doug. It's even better if they pull that. Well, you could say that one, but I mean, we've had a gazillion, pastry. It's great if they pull it off. I mean, Southern Tier does this all the time. The one that I love to criticize is, New Holland. You know what? I mean, I love ripping apart, not ripping apart, but Dragon's Milk.
The thing is, all right.
But
So
we
ripped apart one.
But,
We ripped apart
but Dragon's Milk. Hold on, so Dragon's Milk, they do like one or two. There's like it's orange with cocoa nibs. It's not orange, coconut, cocoa nibs, vanilla.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, they have. It's crazy, Jerry. Don't get me wrong. But it ain't like out of control, like croutons and chicken wing flavor. I don't know what the fuck's going on with
that.
now.
Jerry will hear no chicken wing flavor beer. There's not enough meat in that beer for the.
I want the meaty flavor. I want it savory. I want it thick. I want it.
Daniel, real quick. Daniel agrees with me about the whole Baltic Porter thing. So cheers on that one. So yeah, my backwards explanation kind of resonated with somebody.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool. Have you guys been hearing what's going on in Germany, which is obviously a beer place?
The flooding.
Have you, Jerry? Have you seen it? Jerry, have you seen or heard what's going on in Germany lately?
No.
It's Germany
Okay.
and Belgium. Belgium as well has been in the same boat.
Let's wait, what's good? I just read the private chat. I'm not even gonna. Okay, so let's go to Germany.
Oh, the flooding.
Yeah, they pulled that firefighter out of the water.
It's been very serious.
Yeah, because they're having really, really bad floods in Germany. I thought that was interesting as far as like just
Going on.
yeah.
I do appreciate the guy with the Scorpions Winds of Change hat pulling the guy out of the water. That was classic. Not him. You'll see him coming at the end.
Winds of Change.
That guy.
Oh, that. Okay.
This guy.
Yeah, guy.
Yeah. Right. Look at that.
That aisle.
Wow.
Water and just
And, all right, so this ties in a bit to Texas, Jerry. If you think about, so we've seen 100-year storms, 50-year storms happening every year, every other year. This winter storm that hit Texas, where just fucked up that state for like 3 days, maybe longer in some spots.
Yeah.
Like this is a thing. This is like, all right. So for us in this time of year in upstate New York, it is usually dry and hot, a little humid, not terrible. This whole week has been thunderstorms, humidity. It's just been, we've had inches of rain over this week in the middle of July, which for us is really unusual.
Sure.
So I think seeing stuff like that in Germany, which doesn't normally happen, it happened in Belgium as well.
Right.
Like I'm
something's up.
Just ignoring the climate change shit just is not doing it anymore.
I mean, I know I was in Portland, Oregon in 2019, and that was my first time up in Portland ever, and then just experiencing that sort of mild summer weather after being in Texas, I was like going, okay, I could rock with this. This really works. But now hearing my friends who are like talking about, okay, it's 90 and really, really hot up here, and I'm like going, wow. For the flip, it's actually been a little calm, at least the past couple of weeks here in Texas, as the weather's been sort of different down here. But yeah, February was wild. But that was not just the weather. That was also just our state's preparation for what was going on. And that was a bigger situation. I know there may be people in the audience who really were deeply affected by the level of just these supposedly rolling blackouts, which ended up actually being like 3, 4, 5 day blackouts and like no electricity. And I was always not only worried about the humans in the house, but the animals in the house and all kinds of things. It was just a lot of different things going on. So yeah, there's something up. I mean, no matter where you sit on like specific climate change and different things going on, there's something up. There's something up.
Yeah, I mean the idea. Yeah. All right. So there's this whole. All right. So I'm gonna talk about Texas from an outsider's perspective. So I may have this completely wrong. There is like an independence to Texas, meaning like, yeah, we're part of the U.S., but fuck that. We're kind of not. We're kind of mavericks, to borrow a John McCain term. We're not going to be on your grid because we don't want to be dependent on your power. And then we're going to do things our own way. And like, you're still technically part of the union, but if every 5 years I hear this whole push for secession. And so I used to be like, you know what? Fucking secede. Get the fuck out of here. See how well you do by yourself, motherfuckers. I have changed that perspective because I keep seeing folks from like places like Austin and Dallas. And if you're looking in the South, you're looking, you know, like Atlanta or places like that where they're progressive and they're like, don't fucking just axe us off just because the rest of our state is a bunch of ninnies. Like, yeah, it makes me realize just how much I shouldn't judge. And I used to be like, fuck them, cut them off. Saw that shit right off the United States. Let them do their thing. But
and you're usually getting the vocal ones, right? It's those vocal ones that are getting into the microphones. They're just a vocal minority, really. They're not really the majority, but this vocal minority that gets in the microphones, and they're the ones you're hearing about, you know. And given the fact that Texas did succeed once, given the fact that it even happened, gives you that whole thing of like, okay, that's when people want to push for it again. But if you were to break it down, like going, okay, so why do you necessarily want to push for it? I mean, if you were to ask them specifically, like, so why specifically do you want to do it? Is it just a political point, or do you really have a genuine thing of what you're looking at? And from friends of mine that asked, I mean, I'm talking to friends, not so much as far as the politicians, because, you know, but from friends of mine that may say that, I'm like, well, they really don't have anything. And I'm like, well, then ask yourself, why are you saying that if you really don't have anything? You're just hoping somebody else is going to have the victory for you, right? I mean, like, what are you talking about? What are you really talking about? And how do you feel it's going to really make any changes here in the state of Texas? You know, so that's that.
Yeah. Tony Hernandez made the point he thought that Texas is the biggest donor state. I'm not sure what he means by that, but
donor, what, organ donor, money donor?
Yeah, I mean the fascinating thing of the folks that are talking about like we don't want the government interfering. We don't want it. It's largely states that are really dependent upon government handouts. Your Arkansas, your Kentuckys, your Mississippis, those folks are like, hey, we don't want to be bound by your stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys take the most money.
Yeah, but you are.
Like the state I'm in contributes a metric fuck ton of money to this country. And we pay a boatload of taxes and people bitch. And I'm like, yeah, but those taxes can help make lives better for other folks. So.
And y'all getting all serious again.
It happens. Hey man, so when two fabulous bearded folks get together, we get really deep.
Right. So all right. So I want you to critique I want you to give your opinion on this.
Well,
okay, do it.
Oh, what's up, Jay? What? Before we
I was gonna say it got serious when you showed the flood. I mean, those were like that was a situation like when you said things.
That's where that all spiraled out of you showing us
my
the flood,
fault,
man.
It's my fault.
I'm thinking you're like there's a beer thing going on. Like, oh yeah, like the real news, like not these people getting pushed off swinging over a cliff.
So it's the light-skinned black dude's name, right? It's the light-skinned black dude, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. I see where we're going with this. Right. Right. Doug, listen, man, light-skinned black dudes are persecuted in the black community. Just so you know. I'm just telling you, Doug, it happens.
Hey, what do you want me to say? I'm a fucking white
dude. I don't know. How about you?
That's what Doug's gonna do. Doug's like going, what you want me to do, bro? I mean,
right. But Doug, how about some sympathy, some fucking empathy, something?
Dude, I can have empathy.
All right, so have some. Give me. Jerry's mean. Don't you see how mean he is?
Yeah, that dude looks so mean. He is such an asshole.
I'm not mean.
Right. You see how mean Jerry is?
It's the Baltic. So.
Right. Well, listen, I don't know. The world's kind of going crazy, and we have shit like this going on, and it just, I don't know. It just adds to the madness.
Walmart. I just want to say that.
Hold on.
Hey, fuck Walmart. I just want to say that.
Said fuck Walmart.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers, associates, and managers. My name is Shauna from Cap 2, and I just want to come on here and say Henry is a racist, stinky prick. Giovanna is racist. Elias is a prick of a manager. This company fires black associates for no reason. This company treats their employees like shit, especially Cap 2, and Jimmy from Sporting Goods, Joseph the cashier, Larry from Garden Center. You are all perverts. And I hope you don't talk to your daughters the way you talk to me. Shout out to Ariel. Fucking love you for getting me this job a year ago when I needed it most. Fuck the managers, fuck this company, fuck this position, and fuck that big lazy bitch Chris Price. I fucking quit. I'm out.
That was badass. All right. So I think we've all had moments where we were like, I would like to do that before I leave a place that I work.
Right. And I was right. Have you ever rage quit a job? And Jerry, you can answer that, but also you're still really intrigued by it. So I want to hear that.
Again, these videos make you laugh because some of them are they feel super staged. I'm like, I want them to say cut. Okay, go do that again with more feeling. Just like and so when I looked at that video, I was like, you can really do that? Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised no one ran up on her to stop that. And maybe that would have made me think, okay, this actually was happening. But she got through an entire speech and said, okay, I'm out of here.
Right.
Loses. And I'm like, okay, all right. Wow.
I don't know. I kind of believe it just because, again, look at this emotion here.
Fuck Walmart. I just want to say that.
I almost feel like she feels that she doesn't really want to do it, but she feels like this is kind of like her, look, I'm just gonna out these people. You're racist. You're a creep. I put up with all this shit. And I just, I almost get that from, I'm with you, Jerry, because a lot of these ones I'm like, is this staged? And sometimes I run it off of different people. Because I don't want to bring stage things on. Or if I do, I want to say, hey, and I'm pretty sure this is staged. I don't know. I feel the emotion here, though, Jerry. Hold on. I don't know.
Walmart.
Right here. I feel like she's nervous a little bit.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers.
Because, again, Jerry, if you just do that, I don't even know if they know where you are. I guess they know maybe where you are, because she's Beth from Sporting Goods. So let's just run back to Sporting Goods and try to get her off that mic. But I think once she's on the mic, I think there's just no going back.
I will say, I mean, she definitely, she was bold. She put it out there, and boom.
You never rage quit from a job though? Meaning, did you just ever I think our form of rage quitting, Doug, was just no call, no show. So you just would never just return.
Yeah, that was kind of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was our. You know what I mean?
You just don't go back.
Yeah, we would. I don't know. I don't think we would have the balls to do what she did back in the day. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think generally, as even Americans, we would. That was in our sphere. You know what I mean? I just think we've advanced, and the pandemic just brings out all kinds of ugliness in all of us. Not some of us, all of us. Sure. Some of us contain it better. Some of us are more human, but we've all kind of gone off on some level during this pandemic at some point.
Of course.
So she's just doing it. She just did it publicly. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying what happened.
No, I mean, she laid it out all on the line, and
she did.
She can leave with a clear conscience. She can walk out. Well, you know what? I can sleep well at night, but I said exactly what I need to say.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
So,
And Doug,
there's jobs I've walked out of. Well, not walked out of. I will say that the last job I had before the one I have is, I'm really lucky. The one I have right now is excellent. I'm really fortunate.
But before that,
the job I had before that for 10 years, I dreaded going in there because I work with a bunch of misogynistic, racist fuckers.
And this is also the job that Doug worked with.
Yes, the sleeping guy. Yes. So there was this guy who would sleep every day at work.
Literally,
so
Jerry. I worked
in a secure room. You
like
weren't away from other folks because I work in IT. So it's like I was working in a secure environment.
Like, wasn't it like this?
Yeah, I have Jerry. I have photos. I can send them to you. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right, so like laid out sleep, Jerry.
Just laid out sleep. The best part is his desk was right next to our boss's desk. Our boss woke him up to go home. We'll wake him up and say, "Time to go home." And if I would go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, he'd be texting me, "Where the fuck are you?" It was like not a good environment. Plus, all of them were fucking racist. All of them were sexist. All of them were misogynist.
Oh, madmen! Yay!
It was, and I got shit on for like sticking up for things. And the problem is because our group was so small. If I would have complained because we were in a private small group, everybody would have known that I did it.
Wow.
So I was stuck. I was in a spot where I had no other job opportunities at the point. And I was just like, I can't risk losing my job because I have kids and a mortgage and all that shit.
Sure.
And it sucks. Every day I fucking feel terrible that I didn't say shit. Every day. And it's.
Yeah, but you were compromising.
Yeah.
Go on, Jerry. I'm sorry.
What made you finally step out? I mean,
I was offered a job that was closer to home. And when I went out, I talked to he gave me an exit interview, which was a mistake because I was like, that group is full of racist like when on my exit interview, I said my piece.
Sure.
Okay.
But I knew as soon as I said that I was never ever going to be able to come back to that place.
Yeah. Well, that and the whole thing probably went in a shredder too, by the way. The whole exit interview thing, we're not going to read.
We're not going to do that.
Right.
Well, what was interesting is so there was a bit of a turmoil right before I left where my boss's boss retired. He just decided, I've had enough. I'm just going to retire. So my boss was angling for his job, but he was being just such a dick about everything. And when I was leaving, I did my exit interview. What do you think about your boss doing blah, blah, blah? And I was like, he's not suited for that job. He's just not. He does not have the ability to manage other people. He didn't manage our group well for as long as I've been here. And I said, I'm not trying to shit on people. I'm telling you the honest truth. If you put him in charge, people will not respect him and they will not follow him. And so that was like, I kind of burned bridges, but I burned it in a, not what that woman did. I did it on a kind of private level. Mm-hmm. As soon as I left that place, I'm like, I'm never walking back in here because even if the thing I want doesn't work out, I can't come back here because I'm just done.
That's crazy. No, it's just
you, Jerry.
That's crazy, huh?
What about you? Have you ever freaking just been like, fuck this, out of a job?
So,
not so much in terms of what I would say to certain people, but I've left jobs wishing that I said certain things to certain people. Yeah, that's probably where I would put it. I mean, there's some jobs I specifically like told people, maybe I was personally dealing with something and I told them certain things in confidence and those things got back to other people, other top managers, which were like, wow, okay. So that means I don't have anyone that I can really help me to grow. And I'll just keep that in mind, because whenever I walk to a job, I was always like, okay, well, I already know, there are sometimes felt but not specific strikes against me. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of going in. I'm seeing who's here. What are they really all about? You know. And so I just kind of go, all right, let me just kind of get to know everybody, and see what's going on. So I haven't really. I can't imagine. I can't think of any job where I've like literally walked off and just said, you know, fuck you guys. While I may have thought it, mainly because I've been trying to keep my eyes on forward. Okay, let me see where else I can just go, because I have had situations where I would either go to a particular job and someone from that other job knew someone at this new job, and I was like, well, especially working in communications, it was like, okay, well, all right, let me keep that to myself. I've got a certain place I can keep that and not deal with any of that stuff. So no, I guess that's why that video is so weird. It's so interesting. I'm like going, wow, okay, I like her resolve if that actually happened and she said exactly what she said. I would love to know. It's one of those videos where I almost want to see, like, where'd you go after this? Like, I'd love to see where you ended up. Did you start your own company? Did you do, you know, what more did you do to help other people deal with toxic work environments like that? You know, I'd love to see more.
Well, what I like about, to me, I don't know, it's really hard for a situation to be 100% negative or positive. I think it's always a gray area generally. And what I like about burning bridges is that it puts you in a place where you can't go back. And sometimes that's a fucking good thing. How many times have we heard somebody, oh, I'm back with my ex. He was an asshole, but I left him, but now we're back. And then
he's gonna be better.
But in 6 months he's gonna be an asshole again. Is my point. And sometimes you need a marker where you're just like, okay, I can't go back. I gotta go forward. And sometimes that, you know, Jerry's shaking his head. Sometimes that definition puts a fucking light in your ass.
Right.
And you're just like, fuck it. I'm out. And you know what I mean? And like Jerry said, like, Jerry, where did that lead? Burning that bridge, where did that put her? Like, did it propel her to go to another place where she's manager? Did it propel her to go back to school? Did it propel her to even look inside herself and say, hey, where could I have done better? All that. So, Jerry, I'm with you.
Because I would love to see, I'm thinking if other people saw that, and if they see her take that situation and go in a different direction with it, it has some weight. And other people will go, okay, you know what? That's the direction. But if you go back to another job that's very similar, the one you left in the very same environment, you're like going,
yeah,
that wasn't. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but she should be able to see those things easier going through that. And she's definitely not going back there. So that being said, all right, Jerry. One thing I wanted to talk about before we let you jet here is this wonderful shirt that I have here called Fresher. This was the shirt for Fresh Fest 2 years ago.
Sure.
Fresh Fest is back, but it's now Barrel and Flow, and it happens to be the only event that I have signed up for that I'm ready to roll. Because it's outdoors. Because I know the people who are running it, they're not trying to fucking have us all get all crazy with COVID. They're going to do whatever they can to, mitigate all this. I love that it's outdoors. This is the next time I'll get to see you. It's funny too because we had it all. We had last year all planned out. We had an Airbnb booked.
Yeah.
Doug. It was Jerry. It was our friend Drew.
We had
4 people.
T-shirt.
Yeah, we had an Airbnb with 4 bedrooms, and we had it all planned out. And then COVID did its COVID. So then I went to the DigiFest. Doug went to. It was fantastic. It was fun for what it was.
Sure.
It was great. It did what it could. How about that? With the DJs. Yeah. And I mean, again, it really put me there. I was so zoned out from just hanging out all day that I didn't even make the bottle share later night, and that's where Doug met our friend Kinky Suds, and Afro Beer Chick was there and all that, and I was out. Literally, I could not. I was sitting at this chair for 8 hours, just taking it all in, and by that time, I was like, I am done. Sorry, I can't sit in this chair anymore. I need to go back to my bed, lay it out. But my point is that I will see you there. It's coming up. I am the only reason Doug's not going to be there because he's going to be in another country. That will be, just so you guys know, the next time you won't see us on a Friday, September 10th or 11th or something. I will be in Pittsburgh with Jerry. Doug will be in Iceland with his wife. It's going to be a fantastic time.
We'll be working towards that. We're leaving.
Doug is going to be in Iceland with his wife. We're not going to be all technical. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. Everybody's getting away. But I just wanted to hear your remarks and your comments. I just made mine about, the whole thing and how you feeling about coming out to a beer fest and how you feeling about Barrel and Flow. What are you looking forward to? Who you want to see? All that shit.
I'm excited for Barrel and Flow. I'm excited for just the opportunity to see Day and see, all the gang out there, meet, definitely hanging out with you and running through all these different people. And yet we're doing it safe. We're doing it outside. We're doing all the different things going on. And I know for me, honestly, when I first saw Barrel and Flow, I said, you know what? These vaccines, I'm about to work these vaccines out. I'm getting these bad boys in. And I'm ready to get out here and see people.
You were.
Yeah.
Because I miss people, and I wanted to just kind of reconnect and honestly take this time now, especially to get to know people even deeper. That's one thing I've been doing lately as far as going around. When I go around to different bars, I've actually had some opportunities to have conversations with friends of mine and actually go beyond just the surface stuff. Like, hey, so how are you doing? What's your family like? What's going on? And really, because I guess I kind of realized that when I couldn't see them all in 2020, I was like, well, I have a lot of drinking buddies, but I don't know how many of them, I'd love to see if I can where the friendships at, where can we talk on other things besides just the beer? And that's been one of the most interesting things lately, was having those conversations. So Barrel and Flow, I definitely come into it wanting to I say reconnect, but in some ways connect for the first time with a lot of people and actually make it deeper, fuller. And
is that because of COVID? Is that are you reassessing these relationships because of COVID and because you didn't have that year to really connect with people besides digitally?
Well, I thought the reason why I say because of COVID is because I thought about who could I call? If I was really in a bind or really needed to talk to someone, talk to someone, who could those individuals be? And I spent a lot of time with some of these people drinking beers and doing things like that. I'm going, you know what? I had to ask myself, could I really, with all the time I spent drinking beers with them, could I really call on them if I needed something, or do they feel they could call on me if they needed me for something? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I'd like to do this a little differently and see who those new friendships are. And, if for some people that may remain drinking buddies, that's fine. They're going to remain drinking buddies. That's completely fine. But I'd love to see who
levels to this.
Yeah, I'd love to see who transcends just drinking buddy to hey, we're like friends. We can talk. We can actually share what's going on in our lives and share it without any kind of feeling of, oh, I can't tell you that. Okay, that would be cool. I'd appreciate that. So
yeah, I like the word superficial here. And not in a negative way. I think people use superficial as a negative thing. Again, some friends are superficial, and that's not or not friends or acquaintances. That's not a negative thing. That's just how far that relationship has gone. Not all relationships can get deep. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't. Well,
some people say weak ties.
Shut up, Doug.
You have strong ties, and you have, I guess, weak ties. So you have some people okay,
there's friends and acquaintances is how I always look at it.
Sure.
So some never make it past that superficial level, which for this conversation, the superficial level is beer friends. Mm-hmm. And I have a great example. My beer group. There's a lot of quote superficial friends. That's not a negative. That's just people that I know just on the surface that like beer, and that's our common thing. Now, in the group, there are people that I are left, like more, there's a connection. Again, like I said, there's levels to this. And and that's kind of what I feel you're saying. So you're trying to get trying to test to see, like, again, who's really, who's superficial, and that's great. And then who can get, who can we have a deeper connection with?
So you got superficial, right? And then you've got what I call, I think, again, more the beer friend. And the beer friend for me is, we've kind of moved beyond just, hey, I know them, to like, hey, we can hang out, but it's around beer stuff. It's only beer stuff.
Right.
So it's like, okay, more than just, yeah, I know of them, but hey, we actually hang out, beer friend. What's the next level? Is there anybody else that we can kind of move beyond just beer friend to like friend and compare other things?
Right.
Again, it's one of the reasons why I love your show and love Brothers and Booze, because especially when we tap into, the father connection and different things like that, I love the fact that that connection is there, and I love when the fathers talking to each other. So,
yes, sure. And for disclosure purposes, you're not a father, right, Jerry?
I'm not a father, godfather, but not a father.
Right.
So always you respect.
But you respect that and that bond, and of course, you had a father, so you can relate to that.
I am happily a gunkle, so I'm good to be a gunkle. It's all good.
Right.
So
right.
For sure.
Doug, we kind of elbowed you out. You got something to add here?
No, here's the thing. I don't always need to talk. Sometimes
that's what I love about this. This is why I love about Doug.
Like I can always listen and I can observe and I can hear to a degree, since I'm hearing it. Right. But like the thing is, hearing stuff like, I was slated to go to what now Barrel and
Flow. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was going to go last year, and then COVID hit. I was looking forward to that because
you were booked and everything.
My idea was, I'm going to go and I'm going to listen. That my goal is just to hear and be there. All right, we talk. There's things you talk about being an ally and all that shit. Allyship is important, but it's important to fucking hear what you're being an ally for.
Yeah.
And actually, okay, those folks need this. How can I help that?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have a place of privilege. I can help in ways that I probably don't even realize.
Well,
but it doesn't mean that there's the whole white savior whole thing. That shit bothers me, and I don't want to do that. So there's a thing where, how can I help, but I don't want to be that shit. I don't want to be, hey, I'm the white guy who can help. I want to be able to sit there and go, okay, what are the things you need help with that I can help with?
Right.
And if I can do that, great. If I can't, I will tell you that, and then I will try to find ways to help you get what you need.
Right.
I don't know. There's things when you guys are talking, I'm absorbing that. That's important for me to hear and learn.
You know what else is important for you to hear and learn?
I'm afraid.
I like it. Jerry's like, that's a fucking loaded ass question.
It is. It's okay. That's it.
Jerry's like, I'm glad you didn't ask me that shit. No, Doug, I mean, maybe you don't need to learn it, but because we talked about this, shit's crazy, Doug, at the airport and at in the airplanes, and you are scheduled to go on one. And Jerry, I'm serious as shit. Like, it's true, but it's not, to me, it ain't about the virus. In fact, in my opinion, the airport and the airplanes are becoming fastly the safest place for the virus, because people are wearing masks and they mandate them. Like, there's no mask at this point in America. Please tell me where there's a mask mandate outside of LA and what's the other one? Somebody just did it today. Other than that, it's just mask free because the CDC said it, and that's just the way it is. Like, what you have to worry about is the anti-mask assholes. But what I like to see, Doug, and what I'm happy, because I want you guys to go to Iceland, not deal with anybody's bullshit. I want you guys to have a fucking fabulous, wonderful vacation. Of course, because you're my shit and you're my friends. But I'm still kind of wary about all that, because of shit like this.
Captain this aircraft is to get you somewhere safely, right? That's my job. So we have the mask policy, we have to comply with it. If we got somebody who doesn't want to comply, we're not gonna go there. It's not up for discussion. It's not a negotiation. And on this aircraft, I'm God. I decide what happens.
Did you guys hear that?
No, not really. Please play that again.
Okay.
I didn't hear everything.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it just so you guys can hear it. The pilot just basically told these people that he's God, and whatever he says goes, and you motherfuckers need to listen. But I'll rewind that so we can hear.
I need to hear that part.
We have to comply with it. If we got somebody who doesn't want to comply, we're not gonna go there. It's not up for discussion. It's not a negotiation.
Right.
And on this aircraft, I'm God. I decide what happens. If we do it the easy way or the hard way.
Oh, there's applause for that. Good.
Right.
We had 2 cops waiting outside to do it the hard way, and I'm glad we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I guarantee you when Joel and I fly to Iceland, we're going to be masked the fuck up when we get on that fucking plane.
Right, and then, but did you hear him? He's like, look, I'm God. I'm the God, meaning I'm the one who makes the final decision whether you're on this plane or not, whether everybody gets off. Like, I think that I don't know, I think that and then people clap because people don't want to deal with this shit. And like, again, put a fucking mask on or get the fuck off the plane. Like, it's really, really simple. And this is why, Doug, I feel cool about you guys going. You guys are going to go either way, whether I feel cool or not. But as a person that loves both of you, I feel better because I know it's not going to be a virus thing. It's just going to be more of like a Karen thing. And, all that. It's not going to me, again, airplanes and airports are becoming the safest places in America because, again, CDC just said take all your masks off. And the people who wear masks now, in my opinion, are vaxxed. The people who don't wear masks now are the people who weren't wearing them in the first place. So we are kind of ass backwards fucked here. At least the fucking airlines got it now. And they're like, no, motherfuckers, we're not dealing with this. And I like that we can hear the rest of the guy, but who cares? I like that the pilots are like, look, motherfuckers, I'm in charge. Shut the fuck up. And then you see half of the people are like, take charge, motherfucker. Because he even said, he's like, look, you can barely hear him. So if I play it again, you can barely hear it. But I heard it a couple of times, so I know what he says. And what he says is, look, the first thing comes out is like, listen, my job is to get you guys to a place safe. Right. Okay? There are 2 cops out here right now. So if you don't want to wear a mask, they're going to come in and take you out. I'm the one who decides that shit. I just love it, man. Like, I have a lot of, I don't know if you guys know, we got projects all over the place. We got a gaming stream coming out on Thursday. Doug and I have another stream that we're talking about, working on. And I just like when people take charge. Like, So there are times in projects where, like, look, I'm in charge, or Doug, you're in charge of this. I like when people take charge because, again, the buck stops somewhere. I can be like, look, you do, you know what I mean? Like, someone's in charge. Sometimes you don't like who's in charge. I think that's an issue. But somebody needs to be in charge to make that last decision. And I like that, again, a lot of these pilots are like, look, motherfuckers. I think the one time, Doug, I don't know if it made the show or not, there's this one that the lady really loves where the pilot, like, they're in the air. And the pilot's like, he literally says, I'm pretty sure he says the words too. He's like, look, motherfuckers, I will put this plane down in Kansas. We're scheduled to go to San Francisco. I'll put this plane down in Kansas and remove you if that's what we got to do. And people are like, like they lost their damn minds. But the pilot was like, I'm not taking the shit. Like, I have to do my job and get you people safe. You're running around trying to open doors, screaming about masks, punching my flight attendants. I can't do that. So this is why I actually really become very, very happy that you're actually getting on the plane in an ass backwards way, Doug.
Now, seeing folks just kind of be like, hey, you are not in charge. We are in charge. That's good. That's good.
Right. Right. Like, Manny likes my version. I like, hey, God, make me Jesus so I can fuck some people up. Listen,
okay. Well, turn some tables over. I can do something in these planes. Come on now.
Right. Well, so Jared, before we leave, I've been on a rant, and I saw you shake your head, so I want to know if you wanted to comment on any of what I just said about the airports and the cop. I'm sorry, the pilots and all that.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I agree. I love that the fact that he set the expectation. Like, look, this is the way it's going to be. If you don't do it, this is what's going to happen. So therefore, there'll be no like, I didn't know it was going to. No.
Right. So, Doug, what you got?
Nothing. I just think that's great. The pilots, literally, that's their job is to get you from point A to point B safely.
Absolutely.
So I like that because again, I think clearly the airlines had like a conversation with the pilots and saying, look, y'all in charge, so get on there, tell these people, and like no one's going to, again, no sane-minded person is going to disagree. Yeah, most of the. That's me. And I don't know if you guys see, we've had videos where they throw Karens off, and most of the people are like, bye, they're screaming like. No one wants to be inconvenienced. Like I just don't understand it.
Most people want just to get from point A to point B.
To be safe.
Especially when you're 30-something thousand feet in the air. Like, please, like, stop all the clowning. We've got to get from here to there.
Right.
I don't want you sitting there trying to getting mad and pissed at somebody else who's just trying to do their job, or sitting there talking about you're going to threaten to open the door. I'm like, going, come on, like, stop.
Right.
And you and Greg, you put that video up where the lady was like duct taped to her chair. I'm like, yeah, that woman was trying to open the door when people were in flight.
Right.
Tape that motherfucker down. If I do that, tape me down. I'm okay with that. Like, you're trying to endanger the entire flight.
Absolutely.
And at the time we showed the video, Jerry, I don't know, you probably saw it too. At the time we showed it, like, we didn't know. I didn't know like what the result was, and I'm pretty sure like the next day, like there was a news clip, and they're like, "Yeah, she was." Because I'm like, "How do you get the duct tape? Like, where's the level of like, what do you have to cross to get duct tape on it?" I guess opening the door in mid-flight would be where you get the duct tape.
Where you're like, "Hey, motherfucker, no, you are not doing that."
And especially endangering everyone else. Like, look, you paid the money, and everybody else paid the money to be on this flight. And you're going to endanger everybody else because you don't want to do something, man.
Right.
I mean, get the Gorilla Glue. Just a
Gorilla Glue,
man.
Tape. Right.
I'm going to cock your ass into that seat.
Okay, some quick tight, something. You were just going to be stuck.
Wait, I have it. Right. Flex Seal.
All right, Terry. So before we let you go, I really want to give you an unfettered, uninterrupted, Doug, shut up, I'll shut up, time for you to talk about your podcast. Tell us what's coming up. You got some things in the bank that you got coming up. Tell us about recent droppings of the show. Where are you at? How many of these have you done? How long have you been doing this? Tell us all about it.
So Modern Brews and Beats started in 2019. We will be soon on show 88. We should do them weekly. You can find them anywhere you listen to audio podcasts. So Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Music. Anywhere you listen to audio podcasts, you can look for Modern Brews and Beats with me and my co-host, Anthony Dunn. And again, it's usually a beer and music situation. So we're talking to brewers, and that may be beer brewers, but there also could be coffee, anybody else who brews, and also bring in that music infusion. So, and tune in radio as well. So 87 shows. The latest show is dealing with Ash and Ember Brewing out of Cedar Hill, Texas. And we actually just kind of open it up to all those different things. And again, you'll see CeeLo will sometimes do 3-part series.
Oh, I didn't see this funk one.
Oh, so Funk Phenomena. Okay, so Funk Phenomena is actually an interview. It's actually talking about sours. And it's an interview with Hop and Sting Brewery out of Grapevine, Texas. So definitely check out the Funk Phenomena.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long have you been doing it? So 80. How long does it take you to get to 80? How many years?
We started in 2019. So we're about to
2019. Okay.
Yeah, we're about to come to 2 years of that. And I wanted to do an audio podcast again because the last time I did an audio podcast was actually in 2005 to 2010. It was a show called Magic Society Radio. And of course, you know, around those times, there weren't a lot of people who really knew what podcasts were. But it was an opportunity to talk to people in Dallas and also involve the intersection of the arts community as well as the LGBTQ community. So that was that show. This is an opportunity to come back to podcasting. And again, I've always loved audio because I've always been a fan of radio. So.
Yes. Manny, you do need to check it out. Jeff Tepper. I heard a rumor that number 75 was the best episode.
Because I know there is an episode where Jeff is on, and Jeff Jeff is talking with my co-host Tony Dunn, and you know Tony is a father of 2 young boys, and so we have some great conversation on fatherhood, music, and hip hop, and some different things like that. So yeah, definitely check that out for sure.
So I wanted to ask this question, and now I get to. Jeff, can or is Jerry in our hip hop dads group? Is he not in because he's a dad, or what? And can we add him because he's not a dad? Doug, you're in that group. You know what I'm talking about. Jerry, are you in that group?
No, you know what? That sounds good.
Hip hop dads, right? I'm sorry, Jerry. You're in it, right, Doug?
I am.
Okay, cool. What's up, Jerry?
So you're asking whether I was in it, or
yeah.
I'm not aware of being in a group called Hip Hop Dads.
I think we should give an exception to you because
I think we need to talk to the admins about that. But like, I think that's
admins. Where are the admins? Yeah, sure.
I think Jeff is one of them. But
Jeff that's Jeff's group, from what I know.
Yeah, and I think it's about being a dad and talking about hip hop, but I think
this is a better group for Tony Dunn, especially being a father, a father.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'll be in there just as a supporter, gunkle, you know, for all the things. Yeah, sure.
But hold on. Okay, so then before I let you go here, so what is it? Number 75 here, Starlight? Is that the one that Jeff said? Which one is Jeff? Oh, look at this. We can make it happen. Boom. Yes. Man, I got the best thing about this shit. Dog, the best thing about this shit is that I got connections.
Mm-hmm.
See? I mean, Make It Happen was probably, one of Mariah Carey's early hits, and still a favorite for sure.
What's that?
Make It Happen. It was definitely one of Mariah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Like my favorite, my favorite track from Mariah Carey is actually the Eminem diss track, "Obsessed." I love it. Sorry. Look at you.
So my favorite track from Mariah Carey would actually be a song that's from Daydream. And of course it's the song, it's the one she did, Fantasy, but it's Underneath the Stars. Underneath the Stars is like my favorite
Mariah Carey, totally.
Wow.
So that track will always be number one. There are
why? Tell us about it. What is it that grabs you?
Melodically, it grabs me. It's just this along the same lines of Daydream, right? The whole sense of the romantic thing. You've got this. I just love the feel of it. There's a classic R&B feel to it that just wins. And the time that I heard it, this is 93. Yes, there's a particular memory.
Okay, that's cool. Gary, like that's music. That's like,
sure,
to me, that's part of music, which is like that connection that you have from the past to a certain memory, to a certain time, to a certain event, and like that binds you. And like whether you can explain it to someone else or not, you know what I mean? It's a kind of different story. But the fact that song links to that memory, it just makes that song stronger in your heart. Like, it doesn't matter what song it is.
And so one of the reasons why we talk to our brewers, we find out what's going on with them, to find out, oh, hey, what music has been connecting to you? What has been connecting to you in terms of the brews you make, not only just in the tap room, but all different things going on. So yeah, I love it.
And that's what you talk about during your podcast to whoever you have on as a guest, is that connection between, because I wanted to get to that because we teased it in our promo. We finally got to it before I let you go, which is that connection between. Yeah, we actually do shit here productive wise, but no, my point is that I wanted you to talk about that connection between beer and music, and like how they come together. Because some people are like, "What are you talking about, beer and music?" That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if you want to go in even a little bit more deeper.
Well,
Doug has a question.
We touched on it a little bit before with the types of when Doug was mentioning how something didn't really work for him musically, and I said, I'm not necessarily asking if it. I want to know what your feelings are. I don't need for you to match what my experience with it is. I want to tell you my experience. You tell me your experience. So the same with beer and beverages. The same with music. You know, I want to hear from you. So it's a conversation, and I love that. I love that conversation to where it's like I don't want to tell you what to feel about this beer or about this music. I want you to tell me what you feel. Let's talk.
Right. All objective.
Yep. Doug, you're trying to interject before, and I was just
okay.
Crazy.
I would like to know what Jerry thought of the beers he had tonight. What
Here we go.
Okay, so each of them had their pluses. This many I've had several times. I will say the Baltic Pride.
Yes.
I'd never had before, and I really enjoyed it. Again, I enjoyed that roasty flavor, and it did taste. Well, I didn't mention wood on the deal, but there was a flavor like sort of a woody flavor in that.
Smoke.
I don't know if it was so much smoke as much. It tasted like it was like a wood stout or like a wood. Yeah, I only can really say it's kind of like a woody type of flavor, and I liked that. Just the overall, it was very drinkable. I mean, yes, it was high ABV, and so you go like, oh, okay, that's dangerously drinkable, but it was very good. So I'm actually going to give it to Baltic Pride, the brewery from Estonia. I wish I could say the name.
I missed the Pride part on it. So is this? It sounds like something they brew for Pride.
No, this is just Baltic Pride.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, because we're only 15 days out of Pride, so I didn't know if that was a, you know what I mean.
Pride is 365, my friend.
I'm sorry. Pride month is what I should have said. My bad.
Sure.
My bad.
Yes.
I gotta get my terminology right here. And you also had an NA, didn't you?
I did. And that NA, I mean, again, it comes from the
Manny, you already. I'm sorry. Manny, you already know. So tasting wood is good. Manny, you already know. Right. Phrasing. Yes, Daniel. It's important. Yes. Go on, Jerry. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Wood is always important. But yeah, the NA is good. It's probably one of my favorite from Athletic, the cherry chocolate stout. From
that you say it drinks like a porter, but it's still good.
I think so. Again, and especially when I have a 12%, and then I had the triple, which was 7.9%. It's kind of broke it up a little bit. So in that way, instead of me just doing 2 beers or a water in the middle, I just had an NA and then had the other one. So it's just sometimes I like to use NAs to do that, just to kind of break it up.
Sure, absolutely. And again, sometimes you want to drink all day, but you don't want to drink all day. If that makes even sense.
Yeah, you want to drink all day. I just have to ask myself. There's a lot of things I want to do, but
right.
True.
All right, Jerry. We won't take any more of your time. We thank you for what you gave us tonight. We thank you for your friendship. We thank you for your knowledge. We thank you for coming on to entertain us. What else do we thank him for, Deb?
Just being here, man. And here's the thing. It sounds dumb, but like you're on a Friday, taking time out of your Friday to talk to us. We're a couple of knuckleheads who just like talking beer and just bullshitting, and being here, we really appreciate it. We really do.
And second the knucklehead part.
I appreciate both of you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you for your show.
Thanks, Jerry.
Gary, if you have more time to, or I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry. You go, Doug. I talked over you.
No, I was just going to say thanks. Thanks for being on, and thanks again for having your podcast. And I promise I will be catching up on that very soon.
Hey, I mean, take a listen, and feedback is always appreciated because if people are having say, "Hey, I like this," you know, I love feedback. So
yeah, hopefully I don't fall asleep.
Well, if you do fall asleep, just say, just do it like you say, just kind of give that loving disc. Just like going, it was so good. Your voice was so soft.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
right.
oh, yeah.
Right. You guys, all y'all motherfuckers missed all that, but that's fine though. It's fine. Jerry, if you want to entertain us after in post,
let's do it.
Stick around. If not, it's cool. I understand that. There's only so much of Doug we can all take.
That is true.
So again, we understand going in. But Jerry, we love you. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for all that.
Great. Thanks for being on. I love you.
Right, and if it involves getting wood, Manny's in. So,
Manny, I mean, come on.
All right, Manny. Manny, we're gonna have a Patreon.
Cereal, come on, let's go.
Right. Manny, we're gonna have a Patreon for that. So if you spend $100 a year, you can get wood with all of us. Jerry, thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
I don't know.
All right, man, you first. I'll go next.
Every week is a fucking wonderful, different surprise on this thing.
Yep.
Even when you know the people coming in, we know Jerry, and it was just a delight. Look at that. Yeah, Manny's right. Swag. Right. Okay. Oh, I love fucking Manny. It's great. So then I had a good old night, man. I had this 555, and a story behind this real quick. 555, Doug. I had no idea what the fuck it was. The facts, no bullshit. Here is the total fucking truth right here, and I'm even gonna show it on the screen. I did not know what this beer was until we just almost started the stream. What are you talking about? Hold on here. I'll show you. My thing is fucking. Come on. I fucking hate my computer sometimes. It just doesn't respond fast enough. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So here is New Glarus's beer vote, Doug. So you go here, and I don't know. The only reason I know about this is because of Drosner, Wisconsin Beer Baron. He put it out on his Twitter, which is the beer vote for New Glarus. So you can go here, and then you can vote on which you want New Glarus to brew. So you see, look, I can pick Berliner Weiss, the Black IPA. What else I got here? The Porter, of course, the Smoke Porter. I mean, all this shit's obvious, right? Yeah. But I didn't see until I saw 555 here, the Belgian triple. Look, I didn't know. I just went and just bought New Glarus. I saw New Glarus. I'm like 555. I don't know what the hell that is. I just bought it.
New Glarus. Fuck it, I'm buying it.
Right, and it's fantastic. I had 2 of them, and somehow I gave my neighbor one. I wish I did it because this shit is fabulous. 555 is amazing. If I have another one, Doug, I will put it in your box that has the Venture Brewing, apple brandy and something else you got.
The saison that you were. Yeah,
something. And then the other one I had was the Kid Kolsch. I never got to this one. You had this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a dang official one, right?
Yep, that was, and it was good.
I never got to it. Maybe we'll get to it next week.
Next week.
So yeah, I had those 2. They were fantastic. Maybe I can hit it next week with Foul Language Comics' own Brian Gordon.
That's gonna
be fun. But yeah, I had my New Glarus night, and then I don't know. I'll probably have that last. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have that last 555, and then I'll just go get another 4-pack. But it's rare. It's rare that I try to double back on.
Oh, for sure.
What did you have so we can roll this up? Otherwise, we'll be here another 3 hours.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go quick. This was too much. Aphrodite Jenkins, fucking Imperial Stout, banana, walnut, vanilla, cinnamon, coconut. Just too much going on. I didn't finish it because it was just kind of all over the place.
Right.
The Patriarchy Root Beer Float Imperial Brown Ale, better than I expected because, like I said, I'm a little bit stingy about brown ales. Brown ales, I think they're brown ales. You shouldn't fuck with them, but this was weirdly good. Not great, good. And the winner was what everybody think it should be, Pliny.
I almost forgot about it. We had so much fun with Jerry.
Yeah.
It's almost like 7 hours later, and I forgot you had Pliny.
And the idea that I picked a double IPA to be my favorite beer of the night, that's impressive.
You're doing something pretty good.
Yeah.
So next week we have another big guest. Yes, and I asked you, and we never finished it, so let's make sure we close up everything. What are you doing this weekend?
Okay, so nothing this week, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
I'm doing a very adult thing. I mentioned it to you in our chat. My wife and I are refinancing our house.
Oh, we don't got to talk about that shit.
Yeah, that's just nonsense. But that's something we're doing. But otherwise, it's just like we got 4 kids and 4 teens at that, and it's just, hey, how are we rolling? We get through this next week, and the week after that, we're in Vermont. I will be on the show in Vermont on that Friday, though. So
you've been on the show in Vermont and Maine. Yeah, we've traveled.
We've never been on it in Vermont. We have not vacationed in Vermont, so I'm hoping to grab some Vermont beers to have on the show for that. So that'll be fun.
Sweet. Well, we'll see you guys all next week. And now enjoy our first outro ever. Bye.